Welcome to the Sunday Rune and Card reading. I'm Jenny Florence. Welcome back to those of you who are following these readings. Welcome back to this community. We are becoming a really close and brilliant community. Thank you so much, guys, for all of your feedback and for connecting with one another. It's an absolute privilege to do these readings for you. It really, really is. So, guys, welcome to today's reading. For anyone who is new to my channel, the Sunday readings are all about weekly guidance. You can touch base today and look at the week ahead, or you can touch base at any time during the week if you find you have a question or you're just wanting to seek some guidance and sort of anchor yourself or connect in to a greater knowing. The cards are extraordinary in that they always attune themselves, I think. We're always drawn to the right ones and to the right message. We are attuned and they're attuned to us and we to them in terms of the guidance that they bring. So anyone new, if you want to read about how to potentially win a free private reading with me and also with the other free stuff that I do, check out the information box below. So guys, we have reading 1. Reading 2 and reading 3. Very powerful energy, often is the case. Today we are guided not just by 3 runes in each reading along with our cards, but we also have 3 crystals. We have a rose quartz crystal. It's a natural piece of stone in reading 1. We have a blue-tipped quartz here. It's a stunning crystal, phenomenal energy. In reading number 2, just giving us that energy. And in reading number 3, we have a piece of amethyst in a pendant. It's a lovely piece of stone, and it gives off the most incredible energy when you wear it. So beautiful energy for reading number 3 as well. Allow the crystals as well as the cards and the runes to help you to be guided to the reading that is right for you. It may be more than one. You know, quite a few people find it's an amalgamation of more than one, or as I said, they touch base in the week and pick up on a different one. So guys, so much love to you. Again, it is a privilege to be reading for you, and thank you so much for subscribing, for sharing, for liking. You are utterly awesome. So guys, on the screen you'll see the timings for the readings on the video, so you can fast forward to the one that is speaking for you, and it's in the information box as well below. So much love to you guys, so much love. Welcome to reading number 1. So our 3 runes, let's look at those first. We have the rune of possessions, rune of nourishment, of fulfillment, ambition satisfied. Comes with a message. It asks you to make sure that you also conserve your fulfillment, conserve your wealth, and also to share your wealth as well. We have a rune of breakthrough, stunning energy. Lovely energy, major shifts. I mean, sometimes this is like literally a 180-degree turn. It's a breakthrough that is, it's not even a small breakthrough. This is a monumental shift in your kind of time-space continuum. It'd be really interesting to see where the cards are taking us today. And we have the rune of initiation. Now, this is a secret rune. It's not secret in a negative way. It speaks of, I'm almost going to say, levels of increased consciousness and personal enlightenment that we simply can't share with everybody, because not everybody would get it. Not everybody is in that same space. They're not on that same wavelength. And so it's a deeply personal journey, and I would say a deeply personal shift in your transformation, but it may be for some of you an internal one. I mean, this rune is sometimes symbolized by the flight of the eagle, soaring free of what I would call the complications, the drama, the gossip, the mundane everyday stuff that we can so often get tangled into. Very powerful series of runes for this week. And we have the card of choice. Wow. It's a pretty impressive card to begin this reading with. We have the card of choice. We have the card of the Devil. You are being asked to, I want to say walk to the beat of your own drum, but it's a bit more than that. In this card, I'm just going to pick it up so you can see the imagery. There are two figures here that are tied to the devil. They dance. But it's interesting because although in a way it looks as though he is sort of like harnessing them, that they're captives, actually they are free to go at any time. They're only tied because they choose to be tied. So very interesting card to have next to choice and next to this rune of fulfillment, ambition satisfied, and this rune of breakthrough, major shift, and transformation within. Interestingly enough, you see, Eight of Swords, you have come out of, you've reached a decision. I think that's the answer, or I'm going to say this week you're about to, but it's in motion already. And you are about to make a decision. This reading is an invitation that the decision you need to make, your choice needs to be in alignment with your higher sight, your deeper insight, your wisdom, it's that sort of insight where we travel inwards, and yet it's that travelling inwards that allows us to be like an eagle soaring free, where we see the bigger picture, we see everything with clarity, we move away from micromanaging, we are able to observe things as they really are from a place of genuine authenticity. Now this is lovely. We then have the Queen of Discs. She has been through a tough time. She sits here. Let me just show you the imagery again, stunning imagery. And as she glances back, she is looking back over a desert. She has come through a barren, a tough time, and that time is over. There is an ending here. She can now emerge, and she can reflect, and she can move forwards with a certain degree of safety in her position. We also have then the card of Archangel Raphael. Breathe. Take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. Now, what I'm hearing for some of you, this transformation is very much an internal process. But the overall transformation, whether it is taking place in terms of choices in your external world, or a shift in your awareness that enables you to then make choices in your external world that are more aligned to the truth of who you are. Ultimately, they are kind of two sides of the same coin. You are being asked to make sure that you do pause for breath. Literally, you know, sometimes when life gathers speed and we are in the process of transformation, and particularly nourishment, fulfillment, ambition satisfied, we literally do need to pause for breath, because it's almost like we stop breathing when we are so busy or so vigilant, or, you know, going through something. You're coming out of the other side of a period that has been pretty tough. Part of the breathing out as well, I'm hearing a very clear message. It is to do with this, take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. The releasing of old patterns is to do with when we are going through times of strife and difficulty. What happens is that we start to live on a slightly high alert. And actually for some of you, what I'm hearing is it's not even been slightly high in terms of high alert. It's been very big high alert. It's like the volume has been really turned up. When we go through a period, let's say a prolonged period or an ongoing period of stress and transformation and difficulty, as we come out the other side, okay, we've gained the learning. You've become more of who you are because of this. That is amazing. But it's almost as though when we are in this position, we've come out the other side, but we haven't yet turned the volume down of the stress and the tension that comes with that stress. It's like we're still carrying it. We're still on high alert. this card is bringing a very clear message. You are being asked to now turn the volume down, to know that you've come through this phase, you've come through this period, you've come through this situation, this crisis, this drama, this difficulty. You are the one that can now see clearly. It puts you back in your own driving seat. This is very much a personal matter. You need to simply be, I don't think you're tied to the dance of anyone else anymore. You have freed yourself, you've made choices, you've overcome the demons within you, as it were. We all, let's face it, we all have them. You've overcome those so that you are actually able to walk, to literally walk to the beat of your own drum. And you can pause now for breath and glance back over the space that you come from, knowing that you have made the right choices. There's a lot of validation in this. It's very much a personal breakthrough. But you do need to breathe out any stress and tension that's left over and make sure that you turn the volume back down. As I said, otherwise, if we are slightly on high alert still, that affects the way we perceive things. It means we don't fully relax. It also means we can't fully enjoy the results of our hard-earned pathway that's got us to here. Okay? You deserve to relax. You deserve to turn that volume down on the stress, turn the stress control down. Celebrate the fact that you have actually come through a very challenging time and you are now out on the other side. That breakthrough, that monumental breakthrough, guys, you've worked for it. You have really, really worked for it. Possessions, nourishment, fulfillment. Be humble with that fulfillment, conserve things, share things, but fundamentally, you have work to be here. This is a major shift for you and very well deserved. Guys, big respect and yeah, big respect. So much love to you guys, so much love. Welcome to reading number 2. We have the Rune of Gateway. Wow, guys, awesome moment of change, but thoughtful change, mindful change, contemplation. We then have the Rune of the Warrior and the Rune of Movement. Wow, guys, this feels like a very powerful week, quite a powerful shift, given the first reading we've done as well. But the Rune of Gateway is a rune that there is a request that you consider and contemplate and evaluate, but this is a big evaluation. It's like standing on the top of a mountain, casting your eyes back over your entire journey, how it was that you managed to get to here, all the different twists and turns along the way, the positives, the challenges, learn from them all before passing through the gateway. Now, to be followed by the Warrior rune, which speaks of discernment, a need to cut away the old, to recognise that which no longer serves you. It's a pretty powerful combination. So there's a real evaluation of what is not working in your life and what is. It's like a mixture of both, and getting really crystal clear about that. And then movement. Now this rune is a rune that speaks of the bettering of any situation. Sometimes it literally speaks of moving house, moving to new dwelling places, but also of new lives, of new attitudes, new ways of being. So this is a very powerful position to be in terms of the guidance and the governing energy of these runes. Whatever you do during this week, there is opportunity for evaluation, and it is that evaluation that allows you to see with clarity those things that are working, those things that aren't. I mean, if you were going to be setting intentions or doing a vision board this week, I mean, it would be like a wow time to be doing it, with a view to kind of doorways opening for new opportunities. Almost by the end of the week, it feels like there's an intense opportunity for some form of internal shift. Let's see what our cards are bringing. Interesting, we have the Queen of Water. Very powerful energy in terms of, I want to say a rune, but it's this rune of gateway, contemplation, the rune of evaluation. Now, if you have a look at the imagery on this card, it's a stunning card, the Queen of Water. We have this kind of eye, this additional vision up here. This is about going with the flow in this position, in this reading. You are asked literally to allow yourself to go with the flow in order to emerge. It's very interesting. Sometimes we can feel like a wave the size of a tsunami has hit us in life. You know, life can be like that if something big happens. And depending on where we are and what's going on in our world, sometimes, you know, it's kind of like we need to learn, I don't know, when in deep water, we need to learn to be a diver. Sometimes we need to learn to float. Sometimes we need to learn literally just to float and allow the waves to take us to the right place. Sometimes we need to learn to surf. It just depends on where we are. So very different energy depending on where we are, but there is definitely a going with the flow, allowing something to emerge this week. Okay. So there is an opportunity to reach out, which kind of figures here in terms of the gateway and the movement, the bettering of any situation. And then we have this wonderful card of evaluation. I want to say the Seven of Pentacles is really, to my mind, you get to reach out, and even if you are having a wobble about reaching out, it's often a reassurance that you will receive. So there's also an invitation to please allow yourself to receive. The King of Swords, you know, we have this wonderful card of Libra. Again, discrimination, discernment. Work out what works for you, work out what doesn't. Work out what keeps you in balance, work out what aspects of your life are knocking you off balance. Because it's that clarity that will allow you to move forwards. Now, we have a card here of cruelty. Very interesting, we also have a card of courage. Let me move these along so everything is in camera. Now, this is a fascinating kind of energy around at the last part of the reading. The card of cruelty can on some occasions mean that someone is actually being cruel to you. If that is the case, then I would ask you to really, really, really listen. Evaluate, take stock, look at the situation as it is, and then walk through that gateway. You know, walk away if necessary, you know. So if someone is genuinely being cruel to you, there is an invitation here to act on that, but to act on it through taking mindful, considered action, not rushing into anything. More often than not, though, this card of cruelty speaks of the cruelty that we inflict on ourselves. Now, you can trace it back, going back to the gateway rune, sitting on top of that mountain, casting your mind over your entire journey. The card of cruelty, if you have a raging inner critic, that kind of is more of an inner bully, and some of us really do, let's face it, the inner dialogue is pretty awful to ourselves. That kind of internal cruelty, that cruelty turned in on ourselves, it has its origins in the past. So again, there is a need for contemplation, travel back. This is not appropriate for you to be kind of wearing that coat anymore. It's not an okay thing to do to yourself. You know, again, discernment, evaluate, notice what it is, what kind of external circumstances trigger that inner critic or that inner bully. Discernment is required. Cut away the old. Let go of anything that hinders and holds you back. That is what frees you up and moves everything forwards. And courage, Archangel Ariel, be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. I am actually hearing a very powerful message here. I think some of you, it isn't just the inner bully. I think some of you do actually have someone or some people around you who have not been particularly kind. You are asked to stand your ground. There's a slightly different flavour to this. Stand up for your beliefs. Now that's different to standing your ground. Sometimes when we stand our ground, it means we stand up and we face something or someone sort of full on. This reading isn't asking you to do that. It is asking you to hold your position within yourself. Get clear within yourself. Make decisions accordingly. This going with the flow card, I think you are going to... Just waiting to just hear for a moment. I just connect in with this. It's not just a question of going with the flow. I think for some of you, you have been slightly going with the flow because you haven't known what to do. And yet at the same time, you can see that something is very, very wrong. And you are asked to have the courage to stand up for what you believe in. That's in yourself. What you do with that in terms of action will be a unique and personal position. It may be that you do stand up and directly confront somebody or something. But actually I would say you would be... This card is suggesting more that you reach out for some kind of support, that resources, support is available to you. If some of you are genuinely in a difficult situation and you are afraid of letting go, you know how sometimes we get stuck because to leave a difficult, challenging, abusive situation means that we have to leave behind all kinds of things that we are attached to, including any form of security that we have. And it's really, really tough. I don't think that we let go easily sometimes, even if we're in a difficult situation. We can also hold on to this sort of idealised belief that the person we're with or the people we're with are going to kind of change, mend their ways, you know, they're going to start being kind to us. And actually sometimes that just doesn't happen. It's not going to happen, and we have to face that. Part of this message here is exactly that. So very powerful message here, but I think some of you genuinely are facing the cruelty of another person or a situation that you are in, and you are being asked to take very mindful, considered action, but on the basis of discernment. Really cut away the old, look at what no longer serves you, and have the courage to walk away if necessary. Likewise, the bettering of any situation can be new dwelling places, new life, also new attitudes. If you are carrying with you, any of you are carrying with you, any form of self-doubt and internal criticism that has come from a previous time when someone treated you badly, it is time to let that go. Have the courage to let that go, because it no longer serves you and it's hindering you. Very, very powerful message. Again, interesting, we've drawn these cards alongside the blue-tipped quartz crystal. Very, very powerful crystal for healing and for cleansing and for cutting cords. Very powerful indeed. Guys, so much love to you. If any of you are facing challenging conversations or you are working out how to navigate through something, do please check out the resources in my library. It is completely free. It's a completely free resource, and it always will be free. It's a membership site to protect my material, but there is an entire page called non-defensive communication, and it's like a mini series of a little video series. It's like a course, a learning course to teach you how to manage potentially difficult conversations if you are facing any kind of challenges in that way. Do please access those resources. They are, as I said, they're there. It's part of my contribution to try and help people, just trying to help people to navigate their lives from a position of greater strength, greater empowerment, greater awareness. So much love to you guys. So much love. Welcome to reading number 3. Our first rune is the rune of openings. Interesting. This is a rune that speaks of renewed clarity, the ending of a certain way of being. It represents fire, a torch, out of darkness into light. So really lovely energy, very powerful shift. followed by the Rune of Harvest. This is interesting because the Rune of Harvest speaks of steady progress. It doesn't speak of something actually emerging in its completeness overnight. It speaks of, it's a Rune of Harvest, but it speaks of the need for patience and to allow something to grow and unfold. It does require nurture and it does require work. It's a bit like you've prepared the ground, you've sown the seeds, they're starting to come through, but there is going to be a whole cycle of growth before you reap in the actual rewards and bring in the harvest. So very interesting when we have this renewed clarity out of darkness into light, followed by this rune that requires you to be patient. And then we have the blank rune, which speaks of possibilities, the infinite source of possibilities that sit in the future, the unknowable future. So I'm guessing you guys are starting something, I think some of you have already started something. And it appears to be progressing. I think you may be experiencing some frustration that it's not moving as fast as you would like it to. But there is a huge possibility here. But it also feels as though, I want to say it could go either way. That's not really the energy of it, because you are assured that with the appropriate degree of nurture and care, this Rune of Harvest says, actually, as long as you're patient and you continue to nurture that which you have started, it will grow and you will see the results. I'm guessing that you're not able to see the results yet, and therefore it's leaving you feeling a little bit jittery about your position. Let's see what the cards are suggesting. Okay, guys, very interesting energy here. King of Water. Beautiful, beautiful card. Followed by, I'm just going to take out these two tarot cards first. It's interesting. I'm going to use this one because this is the one that came out first as I picked up the cards. You see, this is the Tree of Life. Okay, let me show you the imagery here. This is so aligned with the runes and the Rune of Harvest. This is the Tree of Life. Something very, very beautiful is emerging within you, in your own life, in some aspect of your life. Each of these flowers is nurtured by a leaf. It's protected. Whatever it is that is new and is emerging in your world, it needs to be nurtured and looked after. There's a sort of very deeply spiritual flavour to this. I think some of you guys have really connected in. It's like this phenomenal time of illumination where we can really begin to see things. It's like connecting into the divine. I think that's probably, out of darkness into light. But it is as though you are receiving, or you have been receiving, kind of like an upgrade of universal energy, an upgrade in your consciousness. But whatever that has initiated, it still needs to be nurtured, and it needs to be allowed to evolve in its own time. Again, very interesting. So we have, these are lovely, lovely, lovely cards. So they're very tuned into the runes, actually, these cards. So we have the Nine of Cups. This is a celebration. It's a celebration in relationship. It sometimes might even suggest a marriage or moving towards a marriage. It's a celebration of a relationship where we really, really know one another for who we are. We treasure one another for who we actually are, not some sort of illusion of love. I mean, this is about real love. We then have the card of the Empress, a card of harvest. Again, Rune of Harvest, card of harvest. Card of insight and illumination. Rune of opening, out of darkness into light. And then we have the card of Archangel Raphael, who says, eat a healthful diet, get adequate sleep and exercise regularly for optimal health. This is about having a healthy lifestyle. Now, I know in some ways that's probably speaks for itself. I think most of us know that that's a really important thing to do. However, there are times when we don't follow that. But there is a very clear message here And this is connecting into that kind of frustration that we feel when something isn't moving forwards as quickly as we might like it to. And I want to say, particularly in relationship, that is what's coming through in this message today. Either you are within a new relationship or you are searching and looking for a new relationship. And actually, it's going to come. That's what this reading is. This reading has come to offer you reassurance. You need to be patient. There is clarity coming your way, and the clarity is within you. It's like your own energetic resonance. If we just connect in for a moment to the law of attraction, sometimes we can set intentions, and that, let's talk about relationships for a moment. We can set our intentions and we can feel as though we haven't met that person, or we're in a relationship and we don't think it's going to work out, or we're in a relationship and we are feeling insecure, or the other person's insecure, or there can be all kinds of stuff around this. But one way or the other, you are asked to have patience and not to try to rush something. If you allow it to emerge, then the harvest is, I won't say guaranteed, but the harvest is promised. This is a reading of reassurance. It's interesting, the Empress, the energy of the Empress. It is a card of harvest, but also a little message that says, please be careful not to try to hold on or try to cling too tightly. Okay? And that could be a way of seeing things, or the way that something used to be. But everything here is suggesting. It's a reading of reassurance for those of you that are connecting in because of relationship, either because you're looking for one or because you are in one and you want it to move forwards more quickly, or because you've started one and you're not quite sure if this is the right person or not yet. This is a reading of reassurance. Where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be right now, and infinite possibilities are available to you. But everything that you are initiating now, whether that is your own energetic resonance, again, connecting into the law of attraction, if you are single and you're wanting to draw someone into you, you need to get your energetic resonance in a really good vibrational place, and that will automatically attract to you someone who will also be in that good vibrational place. So it's all about really allowing yourselves to look after yourselves. Really, really big time. Look after yourselves. Be aware of the signs. Don't be impatient, be patient, because whatever it is that the seeds you've sown, whether they are in your own quest to find somebody or within an existing relationship, one way or the other, they are going to emerge into something very beautiful, providing you don't cling and you allow it to unfold in its own time. But there's so much reassurance being offered to you guys here, and such an acknowledgement and a validation of how wobbly we get, I think. I mean, this is just such a human thing. I could speak for myself, but I think I'm probably speaking for quite a lot of us. Whenever we are faced with something completely new, even a new phase in something, a new chapter in an existing relationship, it's so natural to wobble. Because we don't know, and we wish we knew what the other person was thinking or feeling, and sometimes they don't tell us, and actually that's fine, because maybe they're not ready to, and we can't push it, we can't make it happen more quickly. What we do need to do is to look after ourselves. We need to keep our own energetic resonance really, really good, and that will ensure this wonderful harvest, this wonderful movement forwards. There is a huge amount of possibility and potential here for you guys. Very, very lovely reading. Absolutely awesome. So much love to you guys. So much love.